Hi, this is for Gemini. This is for the next week to 10 days. I'm going to see what I see for the sign of Gemini. Gemini moon, Gemini rising. Clear the deck. Okay, the first card I have here is the Seven of Wands. It's interesting because this looks like, he's fighting off, it's like nobody there, but it's almost like he's fighting off a non-opponent. But I kind of wonder on that, if the Gemini, if this doesn't mean you're fighting yourself on making certain kinds of decisions, like you're trying to figure out what it is that you want to do, and you got all these choices, and you're fighting yourself with yourself over having confidence in your ability to decide what it is that you want to do, like what direction you want to go. And there's a concern with money, but what I'm feeling led to tell you guys is that I feel like make the decision that makes you happy and the money will come. See how the grapes are prosperity and like the money? See how those grapes, and then she's got the coin. I know it represents a female, but what I'm getting on it is like pick happiness instead of the rain clouds behind this one. And I feel like the prosperity and the money will flow. It's interesting because I know this is a card of heartache and upset, but what I'm getting on this card is long-term unhappiness. Like you've been very unhappy about your circumstance for a long time. Thus, the struggle with decision making, the struggle with what to do, not to go, like to be caught up in the unhappiness and to bring prosperity. But also I'm just getting, it's gotten to the point with you guys where you just can't do the unhappy shit anymore. You just can't be unhappy anymore. That's what's going on here. Yeah, I know this is the Judgment card, but what I'm seeing on this, and I know this is souls leaving bodies, but it's interesting because what I see is the happiness and the freedom and the release. So it's more like if you allow yourself to follow your bliss or your happiness, I know it's such a cheesy saying, but to follow your happiness and go the direction of doing something that brings you joy and fulfillment and happiness. And I'm not saying it's going to be perfect all the time. There's no job, I don't care how much you like it, is always perfect. It's still a job. But it just feels like if you do that, it's like this feeling of freedom and breaking through all the clouds to see something more magical and better, to go up to something, to elevate your situation and your life in general. Yeah, that's shiny. Sorry. Okay. This is about power. Deciding what it is that you want to do in your life is you taking power. The Emperor supposedly is the ultimate power in any situation. Plus, you got the Aries, the ram heads, which to me means breaking through the bullshit and not staying stuck in a powerless position. Because staying in a situation where you're miserable all the time is, like it's a soul death. Being unhappy all the time, it just kills your soul. And this is taking power and deciding to be bigger than that and to be having faith, like that whole saying of let go, let God. It's a very big thing. Like he's got the gold and he's got the ram heads, which they can butt through anything. I feel like some of you are wanting to do some travel. And this to me says like traveling. taking a vacation, taking some time off, doing some traveling, and being happy, like looking behind you at all those things that you're going to leave behind when you choose you. You know, Geminis can sometimes, and this is not astrology, just this is what I'm getting because I'm not an astrologer. I'm just using signs to pick groups to read for because there's a lot of people. Geminis can sometimes get very caught up in their circumstances and their unhappiness, especially if they're in a bad situation or a victim, like where they're being mistreated in some way. They can get very caught up in that, and sometimes they get people, not just Geminis, can get addicted to the bad, and you choose to pick the good. And she's got her sword, and she's leaving all that shit behind her, and she's moving forward in her life. Yeah, I mean, there's a chance being taken here. And that's kind of scary, but oh, you guys are pretty lucky. I mean, you know, you gotta keep your evil twin at bay sometimes, but you're pretty lucky. And I just get, there's that, and I also get like seeing through the deception and the negative self-talk that has kept you stuck in this place that you've been in for so long. It's like realizing there's nothing to it, there's nothing there, and that you could pick all these other powers and outcomes in the background. It's like, I don't know, like seeing that it's like seeing through, like there's nothing there. So that's what I'm seeing with that. Yeah, you know, to me, I know this is Five of Pentacles is struggles, but I feel like I'm more focused on the love and the happiness there that comes with that. It's like, I don't know, seeing through the crap and the unhappiness brings you to a place of valuing the things that you care about, which is love and self and family. But with that, I feel comes these things in the background, these pentacles, these coins in the background. I feel like some of you may be moving. I kind of feel like maybe that there's some kind of uprooting your life and moving to a new, better location, being part of the decision, choosing to move to give yourself a better circumstance and a better outcome. And also it's like looking out for your family. And I know that's scary, the thought of uprooting your life and moving, but I just see the stars and the outcome, which is to me a good thing. And it's like, I don't know, leaving all your emotional shit behind when you do it is what I'm getting. You know, and when this new thing comes, when this new choices for career and happiness and things to do in your life, be sure you find your balance, because I got like a black cup and a white cup. To me, that means find that middle ground, find that balance, find that somewhere in the middle where it doesn't become, you don't use it to keep yourself from the family and the happiness thing, that you don't get caught up doing the same thing in a different way because you pick this new career, this new thing for yourself, and then you get caught up in a different way by becoming unbalanced again, as far as now you've got something to be excited about, but you're spending too much time on work. So you still have to pick your happiness and your inner work, your inner light, your love, and the thing in your life that really matters, which is the people that you care about, and self-care. Even though I do see the financial thing coming, I still feel like there's a self-care thing that needs to be made sure once these opportunities happen that you still maintain this part that matters, the family, the happiness, the love. See, it's funny. You got the Emperor, but this guy's looking down on all he surveys. He feels to me more like the Emperor than this guy does. And I just feel like that, I don't know, choosing you and stepping above all the bullshit is going to really provide you with some status and really upgrade your life and your life's directions. There's a part of you that's going to want to go back to the same old crap, and I feel don't fall for that. Don't fall for questioning your decision, Once you make your decision to make these changes and make the move and reinvent your life, don't go back into the same old nonsense and the same old crap. See? If you stick to your guns and stay where you are, you've got this, you know, this happiness, this house. I know that looks like a church, but I don't feel like that's what that's about. Because there's like all this fruit, which to me means prosperity. So it's like picking you will provide, like, see how the sun's coming out from behind the clouds in the background on this? It just feels like it will provide these things that you're looking for. Okay, this is the last card. But see, for the tarot, sorry. But see how, look, all that hard work and that perseverance and that stick-to-itness brings all these pentacles and all this prosperity to him. And he's got this hoe, which means, to me, that means he's growing new life. He's providing, he's bringing new opportunities, planting new things in his life, planting new flowers and new plants. And to me, those things grow and create things and create prosperity. So I feel the final outcome is picking yourself, picking what makes you happy will bring about these three things, which I know they're not traditionally those meanings, but I'm getting that by looking at them. Him being the master of all he surveys, which to me means in his life having control of everything. And this being, you know, a big home to me, and the sun coming out behind the clouds, and this being pentacles. So it feels like choosing you, choosing happiness, even if it means taking a chance, will bring good outcomes. Okay. Today I got a Hindu deck, so I'm going to do the Hindu deities. So, I'm just going to pick one card. Interesting. Lord Varaha. This is interesting. God will protect the innocent and relieve evil of their sins. Exploitation, saying no. I feel more, this is like, see, he's got the world on his head. To me, this more feels like picking you. It comes back to, you know, it comes back to more of there being good things with taking chances. There being good things. He's got wealth around him and everything. There being good things with taking chances and making decisions to put you first, which is ultimately what we're here to do. We're all here for self-growth and self-improvement and being better people. So this is what I feel like this is, because he's got like the world and all these things going on. All right. Now we're going to pick an animal card. Well, they don't want to shuffle. I bought new decks, so they're kind of scroungy. Okay. See? The God protection. We know about, you know, the lion, and be generous of spirit is what this says. But, you know, the lion's the king of the jungle. See, he's got everything he could want or need. These guys have everything they could want or need. And then the lion, you know, he's the master of all he surveys. It says be generous of spirit. And I'm not saying don't be generous, but I feel like this is more be generous to yourself. Be good to yourself. Picking you, making decisions to make yourself happy is the being generous of spirit. All right, that's all. Thank you for watching. Oh, if you want a personal reading with me, my website is amandaknows.com, and I'm going to include a little banner on the bottom with my website address. Thank you.